Yes, Dat, what's happening, brother? You good?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me, bro, Brian.
Appreciate you coming on, my mate. What's been happening?
Um, just here at my house. Got the gym here, so show you guys around a little bit.
I've seen pictures of it on Instagram, mate. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I just got this house at the beginning of the year and been doing a lot of work to it and remodel and finally it's available. See it back here, pretty huge property, three acres, like a dream home. I got all this land here, right in the city, heart of the city. So um,
Is that all your land there then, where the gym is?
yeah, right behind me. 3 acres. So I don't know if I don't in the UK they measure in acre.
Yeah.
Yeah, acre. Yeah. So it's almost 3 acres here. I got
Beautiful.
a pretty big home too. It's 5,000 square feet home. So that's more room than I need. but but my kids love it. They all have their own space and they got a pool. So this is the private entrance to my house. So
Beautiful.
like I said, it's a dream come true. I always wanted a big house. I mean, not a big house like this, but a house for my family where they can feel comfortable and happy. Before that, I had a smaller home, and it was tight and crampy. But like I said, we saved up. We opened the restaurant. We made a little money, and then we eventually sold it because it was too much time. So
Yeah.
we sold it, and we said we bought a bigger home, and we have more time for the kids.
Lovely, mate.
Yeah. And then my see, so basically they're playing basketball here right now, and my son, he wants to be a fighter. Like this whole time I had a boxing gym for 10 years. He didn't want to train. Now that we sold the gym like 2 years ago, and then we opened the restaurant, he didn't want to do anything with the restaurant because they just come in and eat.
Yeah.
As kids their age, they just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so now I've been training him like 3 sessions, and he's very talented. He just needs some knowledge now, and polish up.
How old is
He,
your
he
son?
he's 14. I have two. I have three actually. One is 14. The other boy is 17. He just turned 17, but he's wrestling because
Yeah.
he's also he also really good in fighting too. But I told him to take up wrestling because I tell him you want to be a mixed martial art fighter, a UFC champion. You gotta know wrestling. So
Yeah,
this kids in the future they're gonna be UFC champion and boxing champion.
definitely. So are you in America at the moment? Do you live in America?
What is that? Yes, I'm in America. Yes, I'm in Florida. Florida.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. So what's been happening, Dat, since you were last out at BKFC 22 with your fight against Louis Palomino? What's been happening since then, pal?
Um, like I said, the only reason why I got the fight with Palomino was I didn't have a contract with BKFC. When I beat Johnny Bedford, they didn't expect me to beat Johnny Bedford. So when I beat him, they wanted they what I mean it was when I beat Johnny, they didn't expect I was gonna win. So they had to change plan. But like me, I like to go back to boxing. I like to do UFC because I grew up doing martial arts as a kid, and that's a dream of mine to be a world champion in boxing, a world champion in the UFC because I have very high ambition. So,
Yeah,
I wanted to reach out to Dana White, but like I said, you need to be training seriously. So now that I have my own space, I will probably put my time in there in the gym and be the best fighter I could be, and then maybe those guys could give me a shot. But as far as with the Palomino fight, he don't want a rematch. I got that fight. I thought I won that fight. I thought I was up at least 3 rounds to two. Out of like you said, I look up some of the footage because I didn't see any punch that was landed on me when I got the cut. So the cut kind of changed the fight up because it kind of blind my vision after that. It kept coming down. So um, that's the reason why I fought. But like I said, I was in fight with the right game plan that I needed to. I could have been a better fighter because like I said,
I thought you fought really well on that fight. I thought it was an excellent performance.
I instead of chasing him around, I could have been like Johnny Bedford, point to the center ring and make him come to me. He didn't want to engage because once he realized that I was hurting him in the first 2 rounds, he didn't want to engage because I was actually landing some good shots on him, and he was hurt in the first minute of the round. Um, so a lot of people think that I got knocked down in the first round. That wasn't a knockdown. He missed the uppercut, and I threw a right hook, and I missed the right hook, and that leverage, the force of the punch, made me move. So a lot of people don't know that. So I have to show that replay in slow motion. And with BKFC, they like to promote a certain fighters that they can control. So with me, they know that if they promote me too much, I'll probably leave the company and go to boxing because I have a background in boxing and martial arts. So I already told David, my plan is very ambitious. I want to be a world champion in those two other sports. So that's the reason why he don't want to promote me, because of that reason. And secondly, he wants somebody that to be a yes man to him.
Yeah. So you're not fighting bare knuckle ever again?
Well, like I said, the option is always open. I mean, I'm still the champion. Like I said, like I said, right after that fight, David called me and said, "Do you want a rematch?" I told him, "Yes, I do want a rematch with Palomino." But he hasn't reached out to me regarding about that fight. And then Nate Shook is the matchmaker for BKFC, and he tried to contact me in October for a fight with Reggie in November. And I said, look, if I'm not training and I'm fixing my house, I'm not gonna fight. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put myself in the same situation that I did before because like I said, they're always trying to give me like 5 weeks of training in, and I gotta rush from not training. When you don't train and you gotta start from scratch at 5 weeks, that's a lot of stress on your body.
And you're at the
And you
high
can't be
level of it now, aren't you? You're fighting all the top guys. You need a proper
right.
camp.
Right. So when I fought Johnny Bedford, I only had like 4.5, 5 weeks of training. Not even that, maybe 4 weeks of training. When I fought Palomino, it was the same thing. Like I said, David. What I mean, like I don't understand how David runs a company when he gives other guys like like if you have a show, he knows at least 2 months in advance, 8 weeks, right? That he has in a show in that location,
Yeah.
and you should be able to let me know that I'm gonna be on that show so I can prepare myself, slowly, But he don't give me that early notice. He wants to. I think the reason why is he don't want me to win. He don't want me to be on the winning side. So he wants because he knows that if I keep winning, I become a big name in his company, and it's hard to get rid of me.
Yeah, I get you. It'd be sad not to see you fight bare knuckle again because you're one of the most entertaining fighters who fight for the BKFC. It'd be great to see you come back. Like some of
Yes,
your fights that you've had have been the best fights BKFC have seen, like the Johnny Bedford fight and your performance against what's that other kid? Is it Velasquez?
yeah, but like I said, that's the only fight that I told you I was in shape. Like right after I fought Travis Thompson, I was very motivated. So I still had my boxing gym at that time. I still had my boxing gym, and so I was back in the gym right away because I was motivated, and I knew that I need to get back in better shape. So that's the only fight that I was in shape. And then the pandemic hits after that fight because that was in February. I think February 2020. February. I think it was February 2020. So that's when the pandemic just came, and then I was supposed to fight Johnny Bedford, and the fight got delayed for another year. I think 2021. So like I said, for that whole year, I didn't do nothing. I sold my gym during that year in 2020. And like I said, when you don't have a gym, you don't spend time in the gym. You know what I mean? And I had the restaurant at that time, and I spent a lot of time in the restaurant. And like I said, when I fought Johnny Bedford, I couldn't be at my best because I only had like 5 weeks prepared from scratch. Same thing with Palomino fight. But now, like I said, I bought this home. I got a boxing gym here. I got a full set. So, what I mean? It's going to be different when they see me come back.
Yeah, you need to come back. Definitely, 100% need to come back. How did you feel after that fight with Palomino when the decision went to Palomino? Did you have a feeling it was going to happen, or were you confident that you were going to get the decision?
Yeah, I thought the judge was going to be fair because he didn't do anything. I basically hands down won the first 2 rounds easily. and I thought I won the third round too, you know. And the fourth round, he didn't really land anything. One uppercut, you know, don't change. Basically, I wanted him to throw the uppercut. He was so scared to engage. Like, I wanted to close the distance with him. You know, it's hard to close the distance in bare knuckle. People don't understand it. With boxing glove, I would close the distance and walk him down. In bare knuckle, it's totally different.
You've got that extra reach, haven't you, on your padding, on your glove and that in the boxing.
Right. You can close it down and you know, and then you can't grab. The rule set is different in bare knuckle, you know. Once you get closer, they grab onto you, they push your head down. In boxing, you can't do that. So they allow that kind of stuff. Like, so he was doing a lot of dirty stuff. Like, he would just grab my head and then, you know, put his whole weight. He basically, you know, like, I mean, that's like a wrestling, you know, you basically a wrestling clinch. You know what I mean? I'm a wrestler, I know. So he would grab my head and he pushed me down. So, you know, eventually, you know, you put all his weight on my lower back. You know, like I said, before I fought Palomino, I injured my lower back I think it was the 4th week before the fight. So basically for a whole week I had to rest. So basically I only had like, you know, 3.5, 4 weeks of training for the Palomino fight, because I basically strained my lower back and I had to go therapy. You know, I had to go do some you know, therapy. My friend was a massage therapist, so he was able to, you know, put some electrical stimulation on there, and I rest for a whole week, because in my mind I knew that if I didn't get that fight and I canceled that fight would never happen for me again. And I was praying to God, you know, that my body would heal quickly. And thank God that after a week, you know, I was able to move again.
Yeah, I've seen like I've realised with a lot of people in the bare knuckle as well, especially who've come from a boxing background, that even when they're in the clinch, I think it's natural instincts because they're used to boxing. They don't hit in the clinch, clicking in the brain to like, you're allowed to hit in the clinch. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, you know me, I am a clean fighter. I'm a clean fighter, and I respect the rule, and I fight with honor. And you know, when you become a dirty fighter, you know, you don't have no honor. You do dirty things to win, you know. And me, I'm not that type of fighter. I fight with honor. Like I said, you know, when the fighter fights dirty, then, you know, when they piss me off, then I let them know. You know what? You want to be dirty? I can be dirty too. You know, like when Johnny Bedford was being dirty with me, he was being very dirty. He basically like pushed me against the rope and pushed his head on there. And I was like, look, he pinned me. I told him, like, you want to be dirty? Okay. The second time he did that, I put my hand on his throat. I put my finger right on his throat. I stick it in his throat. I said, that's what you get for being dirty. But you know what? That's when Dan, the referee warned me, but he didn't warn Johnny the whole time. You know, like I said, I could be a dirty fighter, but you know what I mean? You know, once you start to continue to be dirty, I'm gonna let you know. So, but Palomino was a dirty fighter. He fights with his head. Same thing with Johnny. You know, I think that David kind of encouraged the dirtiness of the sport, but since Triller bought it over, Triller put a lot of money to buy BKFC. They bought 49% of BKFC. So they said, you know what, let's make this sport, you know, friendly for the TV, you know, for the future. Yeah. So, you know, you want the sport to grow, you got to be able to make people, you know, the regular people be able to tune in, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So have you been following the BKFC though? With, you know, fighting in it, have you been watching the fights, and did you watch BKFC London and that?
You know, they've been showing me a lot of, you know, like I said, I blocked Nate Shook. I blocked the other guy, the vice president of BKFC. I unfollowed David. Like I said, I don't need the negativity in you know, that follows me. And you know, they use because me, I'm the type of guy that I speak my mind, you know, and I post a lot of things on my Instagram, and they use that against me. So I just blocked them out. I blocked BKFC. So you know, like I said, so they are pissed off. They are probably pissed off that I blocked them, you know. But you know, like I said, I don't want the negativity. People keep tagging me on BKFC, and I reply to their comment, and then, you know, BKFC, you know, they delete my message. So you know what? If you want to be like that, you know what? We don't have to be friends anymore. We can, you know, I can just block you out. So I mean, that way I don't have to hear any more bullshit. You know, like I said, I'm a fighter. You know, I have pride in myself. You know, I have pride in myself because I know I always been that fighter. You know, once a fighter loses his pride, he's no longer the same fighter. You know what I mean? He's just fighting for a paycheck, basically.
Yeah, definitely. So is the plans just to basically bare knuckles on the out the back now? It's just basically MMA and boxing.
No, I think David wants me to get a fight, but he's just ignoring me at the moment. Um, so which is good. Like I said, it's fine. Like I said, once I get my, like right now, I just started training again. So I'm looking forward for December. But like I said, they don't give me a date in December. So like I said, I just recently blocked them like a few weeks ago. So just to get rid of the noisy for a little bit. You know what I mean? Um, but like I said, I'm gonna get myself in tip top shape. I have the option to go back to boxing, the option to go to MMA, the option to go back to bare knuckle. I have other company like BKB in England with Jim. I think Jim. I spoke to Jim before. He wants me to fight for his company. Same thing with BYB. BYB is
America.
Velasquez. Yeah, I mean, I'm Mike Vasquez. So Mike Vasquez is the owner of BYB here in America, and he promotes a lot of show in Florida. So I mean, I have the option to go with them as well, But like I said, if I got mistreated by David and BKFC, like I said, I'm not gonna stay with the company. Like I said, my 4 fight with BKFC, I put my heart and soul into helping the company build the company. I sold $100,000 worth of ticket in my 4 fight. So I don't want to talk bad about them, but like I said, I was paid like I said, basically not nowhere. Like I said, my ticket sales were that good. I bring so many people to the company.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you were to come back to the BKFC, because I think it'd be hard to get the Palomino fight now with him having a couple of fights lined up and down in weights. What fight would you like to come back to? Would it be the Reggie Barner fight or somebody else?
I'll fight Reggie. I dislike him. He's been calling me out, so I want to shut him up. I want to punish him. That would be a good tune-up fight for me because he's not a big guy. He had a couple wins in. He's only lost to Johnny Bedford. He's a boxer. He don't like to engage once you become the bully. I mean, I could see right through the fighters. You know what I mean? He likes to box, tap, and run and use his boxing. Once somebody bully him, he doesn't like that. That's the reason why Johnny beats him because Johnny bullies him around. And as a bare knuckle fighter, you gotta have that mentality, that gangster. Shot for shot. You can use some skills in there, but like that, you gotta sit and stand and trade. Let's see, that's why it makes me a good bare knuckle fighter because I always had that mentality to go blow for blow. And like I said, it takes a special fighter in bare knuckle to be the best.
Yeah, it does, mate. It does. And when you fought Palomino, didn't you go up a weight to fight him and you were still champion in the weight below? So you never lost that belt in the weight below, is that right?
I never lost my weight class. I mean, 135. Johnny Bedford was the champion. I beat him, and they basically they stripped me. They stripped me because during that time I was in negotiation with David. I said, look, if I'm getting paid less than what my ticket sales are, then it's not worth it for me to continue to fight. If I'm selling $40,000 worth of ticket, I should get paid more than that. You know what I mean? So it's not fair for me to fight for less money. And I mean, like I said, I'm leaking this out. So and you paying some other fighters way 10 times more than what you're paying me. So I'm the one that brings the viewership, the fan, the ticket sales. And you're not taking care of me. So just let me go where people want me. You know,
I hope you can sort it out. Like it'd be great to see you come back. Would you like to fight in the UK?
absolutely. I love the UK. I never been to England, so I always wanted to come to England and fight there. So like with Jim, he owns BKB in there. So and plus it's a square ring. I think the rule set is a little bit different. It's 3 minutes, and it's more of a boxing bare knuckle instead of
Yeah,
because with BKFC they offend towards MMA UFC fighters because they want the dirty tactics. They want fighters to be as dirty as part of hitting an opponent when they're down and stuff like that. When you do that, you play. The rule set saying in certain things. You need to have a rule set that and have a referee in there to regulate those things because when you don't, then that's when fighters can get hurt and can get injured.
yeah, definitely. What do you think of that triangle ring?
I like the triangle ring because then the fighter are forced to fight. You know what I mean? I mean, it is a lot harder to run in a triangle ring. all square ring. You know, the way that bare knuckle FC is made is a round ring. A round ring is a lot easier to run in circles because then there's no corner to trap you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You have to be really high level to trap your opponent. Like I said, I could have trapped. You see, I mean, I cornered Palomino a few times, but because the ring was circle,
raw.
he always get a chance to get out. And plus, because he's a veteran, he's a pretty good fighter himself, so he knows how to get away from that. But
Yeah.
if I fight, like I said, if I fight a low IQ fighter, I can cut him off. And like I said, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Every platform has its benefit and its weaknesses.
When you had your BKFC debut, did you expect the ropes to be hard, or did you think they were like boxing ropes?
Yeah, I mean, I tried it out. I asked David what kind of rope. It's actually steel rope. You know, for a rope to be round, it has to be steel. So there's no bouncing on that rope. Like I said, BKFC is they have the first movers advantage, and David right now he has a lot of money from Triller. You know, Triller invests a lot of. Basically, they have Triller's bank account right now, so they can do whatever they want. They can get certain fighters they want. But you know, they try to build certain fighters in the company, and like they're trying to build Jared Grant, who was 5-0, and Jared lost to basically they're trying to build a younger fighters, and he lost to Reggie, and then they're trying to build B Starling, you know, uh, Taylor Starling, and she
Yeah,
lost. I'm telling you, it takes a special kind of fighter. You can build certain fighters you want and give them easy fight, but when it's time to face a real dog, are you gonna bring that dog out? You know what I mean? So like I said, this sport is not made for young people. A lot of young guys, you know what I mean, they think they can fight. You know, you gonna have the veterans always gonna have the edge because they've been there, they've done that. You know, like me, I'm a veteran. You know what I mean? When it's time to dig deep, I already know. I put those guys in deep water and make them, you know, suffocate. You know,
yeah,
I said I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait for the when I'm in shape, and I call David because I text David and David don't want to respond to me. So you know when I'm ready, when my body's in tip top shape, and I reach out to David and David don't give me a fight, I'm moving on to BYB. I'm moving on to BKB. I'm going back to boxing. I have a lot of different options. You know what I mean? I give them. Like I said, I never sell myself short because I know what I'm capable of. I know I know. I mean, like I said, I know what I can bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like as a fighter, you have to think of yourself like that. You got to put yourself first. You know, because the promoter's in there to make money from you. You know, he made a lot of money from me. So basically, I told you, he made $100,000 worth of ticket sales from me, and my pay were less than that. You know, so I mean, I haven't leaked this out, but you know, like I said, it is what it is. You know, people think I'm getting paid big money here. You know, when you're paying those UFC fighters, you know, a lot more, 10 times more than what I'm getting paid for. So at least take care of me. You know, don't use me. Don't use me. Um, you know, for the company and then dump me when I'm no good. You know what I mean? Because I gotta be able to take care of myself and take care of my family.
yeah. I get you, mate. I get you. Did you see that they've just signed Austin Trout?
Yes, I saw that. Austin Trout, you know, he's. I I think I think once he starts to fight a real dog, he's gonna have a lot of problems because you know he's more like a slick boxer type. Basically, he's a slick boxer. You have to be a brawler. You have to be a brawler. A brawler boxer to be able to
Yeah,
succeed in this. You can be a slick boxer, but once somebody that like I said, there's a lot of good fighters that's coming up. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting to watch.
yeah, custom, mate. And is there anything that you want to share with us, mate, before we wrap it up?
Um, yeah, I mean, I want to thank all my fans for their loyalty and you know, like I said, they always show me love. You know, I mean, I lose quite a bit of follower because I speak my mind. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you're not with me, you're not with me. You know, that's how I feel. I speak it. You know, Palomino, I think Palomino don't want no piece of me anymore. He already know he got lucky there. He got a gift from the judges. So and at the same time, you know, like I said, I already know that David set that fight up for me to lose because he don't want me to win. Because the only reason why he gave me that fight is because I used my leverage not having a contract with BKFC. I was gonna go to BYB if they was gonna give me Palomino. So when I told David, look, if I don't get the Palomino fight, I go to BYB. And David was outrageous. He was pissed off. He's like, all right, you want that fight? I give it to you. That's why I got that fight. But then, he knows that if I won that fight, I'm gonna want Joey Beltran. So he probably don't want me to fight Joey Beltran. So he wants me to make sure that I don't win that fight. Like I said, I like to shoot for the star. You know what I mean? I want to shoot for the impossible. That's the only way that it's gonna make me a better fighter and make me to get paid more. You know what I mean? I took the Palomino fight not knowing how much I was going to get paid. And like I said, I trust David. I put my heart and soul into the company. And when I got paid is when after the fight. They gave me the bulk agreement after the fight. And, like that kind of disappoint me because then I thought they would take care of me by taking the toughest fight possible, moving up 2 weight class, help them build the company. Sell the pay-per-view for them, sell $40,000 worth of tickets, $50,000 worth of tickets. But you know what? It is what it is. And you lose, you learn more from losing. You know what I mean? You keep winning. And like me, when I keep winning, when I beat Johnny Bedford, I thought they was going to be able to, pay me more, as I'm a champion, but it wasn't the case.
Did you get to keep your belts then, or did you have to give them back?
No, the belt is there. Once they give it to you, it's yours to keep. But like I said, they can basically they can strip you anytime from their point of view, from their ranking. So basically, a company are trying to build their company, so they can give you the award, but like I said, they can say you're no longer their champion and move on with their the company gotta go on.
Yeah, because when you Police Gazette champion as well, because there's a bit of drama going on with the Police Gazette belts with I think Palomino's just been stripped of it.
Yeah, the Police Gazette belt has only been handed to 3 weight classes. I think the 135, 155, and the heavyweight. Because the Police Gazette, the original weight class, were only 3 weight classes back in the early 1900 and 1800. So right now, Scott Burke is the president of Police Gazette. And I think because he wants to be independent sanctioning body, and David BKFC doesn't want that. BKFC wants the Police Gazette to be exclusive to BKFC. So
so like it can't go around other promotions.
Right. So I think that's why it hasn't worked out for Scott. But like I said, if you want to keep the company, you want to keep the sanctioning to be, like I said, if you want to be the best fighter in the whole world, you can be the best fighter in that BKFC. But you know what? That's BYB. There's BKB out there. There's great fighters in those companies too. And like I said,
like the Police Gazette belt, it'd be hard for him to put the belt in different companies because the companies don't obviously allow the fighters to fight each other. Where you could have the BKFC belt could be like the WBC, BKB, IBF, BYB, WBO, and they could go around fighting each other and collect the belts.
Right. Well, it's not like boxing.
Yeah,
like
it's never
boxing,
ever going to happen. Like,
yeah, I mean, boxing. You got 4 different belts: WBC, WBA, WBO, and IBF. Those are the 4 main belts. Like I said, people, come up with those belts, and those are respectable belts, and they can, cross promote. They can cross promote.
Yeah.
But with bare knuckle being so new, everybody have their own platform. They have a different rule set. With the BKB, they have a 3-minute rule set and a 3-minute 5 rounds. With BKFC, they have 2 minutes. They want the faster pace, and the ring is round. It's a round ring. You can't use the rope. You know what I mean? So it's a conflict of different things there. That's why the Police Gazette will have to be. We'll have to work with those promoters to be able to bring a grand champion.
Yeah, and it's obviously like the promotions are doing their own belts as well, aren't they? Where it's like Top Rank doing their own belt or Matchroom doing their own belt. It's not like it's a total different type of belt, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like look at the UFC. They monopolize the whole MMA because they have the first movers advantage, and the fighters fight for that company and they become a superstar, because they have so much follower. and
Yeah.
they built the company to be $8 billion. It's an $8 billion company. Everybody who's a champion has a lot of followers. They have more followers than most of the boxers, but like I said, unless but they're not making as much as the boxing champion. So
Yeah.
unless you're Conor McGregor,
Fucking right.
yeah.
But yeah, mate, I fucking really appreciate you coming on. And is there any shout outs or sponsors you want to give a big up to?
Like I said, I just want to thank all my fans. I want to thank you, my friend, for always, having my back here. Anytime you come to Florida, you always have a place to stay at my house. I have a 7-bedroom here, so you're welcome to stay here.
I'm booking a plane.
Yeah, come. I mean, you from the UK, so it's actually a direct flight from Europe to Florida. I mean, unless a lot of people from England that comes here to Florida for the Walt Disney. I'm only 2 hours west of Walt Disney, so you're welcome to come here and I show you around the city. The city that I live in is very nice. It's called Vero Beach. It's a very exclusive, very quiet town.
It'd be good to come over one time, like do some filming with you, some documentary or something.
Yes, I would love that. I would love that. And yes, absolutely, we can do that. And like I said, in the future, my goal is, when I'm done with fighting, I'm gonna be a trainer because I love training fighters. So, and like I said, I'm gonna train my kids to be world champion. And like I said, you can have the best trainer, but the fighter's gotta want it too.
Yeah, definitely,
So yeah.
mate. Definitely.
Mhm.
But I really appreciate it, mate. Big up. We'll stay in touch and we'll catch up very soon, mate, when you get any news or something.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got something in the work right now. I don't want to leak it out, but like I said, I will be ready to fight in January. So, like I said, if I don't get the BKFC fight, I already have another fight lineup ready. So I'll be back in the ring in January.
Kushti, mate. I can't wait to see it, that.
Thanks a lot, my friend. Thanks a lot. We talk
No
again
problem,
soon.
mate. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day, mate.
You have a great one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you later, brother. Respect everyone for jumping in there. I'm going to book me ticket to Florida now. 2 minutes. Respect that. One of my favourite fighters. Unbelievable fighter he is. You have to check his fights out on YouTube if you haven't watched him. Big up my man, Tony Meehan. Winwood Media in the house. Scottish lass. Kyle Goodwin. Boyo. Hope you're okay, brother. Queef Chegwin. Respect everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.